losing because life is unfair. You are losing because your daily habits are voting against the future you keep begging for. You do not get everything you want in life by chasing every desire that appears in your mind. You get it by becoming the kind of person who can carry success without losing peace, carry pain without becoming bitter, and carry power without becoming arrogant. Most people say they want more money, more love, more respect, more freedom, more strength, more peace. But when life asks for the price, they become silent. They want the harvest, but they avoid the planting. They want the mountain view, but they do not want the lonely climb. They want the strong body, but not the painful training. They want wisdom, but not correction. They want success, but they still protect the habits that keep them weak. This is why many people do not fail, because life is against them. They fail because they are divided inside. One part of them wants greatness. Another part wants comfort. One part wants discipline. Another part wants excuses. One part says, I am ready. Another part still begs for distraction, approval, laziness, and safety. Life does not listen to what you say you want. Life watches what you repeatedly do. When your actions and your desires are enemies, your life becomes a battlefield. You wake up tired. You move without direction. You blame the world. But deep inside you know the truth. You are not lacking chances. You are lacking alignment. The first way to get everything you want is to become clear enough to stop wanting everything. A confused mind is easy to control. Every advertisement becomes a command. Every opinion becomes a direction. Every comparison becomes a wound. You look at one person and want their wealth. You look at another and want their body. You look at another and want their relationship. You keep collecting desires from people who do not even know who they are. This is not ambition. This is spiritual noise. Sit with yourself long enough to ask, what do I truly want when no one is watching? What would I still choose if no one applauded? What would I build if I could not show it online? What kind of life would make me respect myself in silence? Most people never ask these questions because the answers would expose how much of their life is borrowed. Borrowed dreams, borrowed opinions, borrowed goals, borrowed fears. They are living as an echo, not as a person. You cannot hit a target you refuse to define, and you cannot define a target while your mind is drunk on comparison. Clarity is not a small thing. Clarity is power. When a person becomes clear, they stop leaking energy into every passing desire. Their eyes change, their walk changes, their speech changes. They no longer explain themselves to people who are committed to misunderstanding them. They no longer waste years trying to impress someone who cannot even master their own emotions. A clear person is dangerous because they cannot be easily distracted. So ask yourself with honesty, not decoration, what do you want? Not what sounds impressive. Not what makes you look successful. Not what your family expects. Not what your friends admire. What do you want so deeply that you are willing to become uncomfortable for it? If you cannot answer, do not pretend you are ready for success. You are not ready. You are only ready for wishing. Once you become clear, write it down. Not as a fantasy, but as a command to your own behavior. Your goal must become simple enough to remember under pressure. Because when life becomes difficult, complicated dreams disappear. Simple vows remain. I will build a strong body. I will master my craft. I will become financially free. I will stop betraying myself. I will create peace in my mind. I will become someone my future self can trust. A clear sentence can become a sword, but only if you sharpen it every day with action. The second way is to stop negotiating with weakness. Inside every person There is a voice that knows the right thing. It speaks quietly. It says, wake up. It says, do not send that message. It says, train today. It says, save the money. It says, tell the truth. It says, leave what is destroying you. It says, begin now. But there is another voice. It is louder, softer, more seductive. It says, tomorrow. It says, you deserve a break. It says, just one more time. It says, no one will know. It says, you are tired. It says, this is too hard. It says, you can start when life becomes easier. If you listen carefully, you will notice something. Weakness always speaks like a friend before it becomes your master. It comforts you first, then it owns you. Every time you break a promise to yourself, you are teaching your mind that your words mean nothing. You are training your nervous system to expect failure. You are making your identity weaker. And then you wonder why confidence does not come. Confidence is not created by positive thinking. Confidence is created when you repeatedly prove to yourself that you can be trusted. Do not say, I want discipline, if you still treat every emotion like an emergency. Do not say, I want greatness, if you still obey every craving. Do not say, I want peace, if you still feed the thoughts that poison you. This is childish. Life does not reward childish desire. Life rewards mature behavior. When weakness appears, do not hate it. Understand it. It is old conditioning. It is fear wearing familiar clothes. It is the body asking to remain comfortable. But understanding weakness does not mean serving it. You can say, I see you, but I will not follow you. This is where power begins. When you do not feel like training, train lightly but train. When you do not feel like studying, study for 15 minutes but study. When you do not feel like working, begin with the smallest task but begin. When you feel like reacting, stay silent for one breath longer than usual. When you feel like quitting, take one more step before deciding. Do not worship intensity. Build consistency. Intensity is emotional. Consistency is spiritual. Intensity wants to prove something. Consistency wants to become something. Many people can be disciplined when they are inspired. Few can be disciplined when they are bored, tired, unnoticed, and uncertain. That is where the true separation happens. Not on the stage, not in the applause, not when people are watching. The real test happens when nothing dramatic is happening and you still choose your path. You do not need a perfect day to make progress. You need a committed mind. The third way is to master your attention. Where your attention goes, your life follows. This is simple, but most people live as if it is not true. They give their best attention to strangers, gossip, fear, old pain, fake arguments, and imaginary disasters. Then they give their weakest attention to their dreams and wonder why nothing grows. Attention is life energy. If you throw it everywhere, your life becomes scattered. If you place it with precision, your life becomes powerful. Your phone is not just a device, it is a doorway. Through it, people can enter your mind without permission. Their anger becomes your anger. Their panic becomes your panic. Their lifestyle becomes your dissatisfaction. Their beauty becomes your insecurity. Their success becomes your shame. And you call this entertainment. Much of what you consume is not entertainment. It is training. It trains you to compare. It trains you to crave. It trains you to react. It trains you to want things you do not need from people you do not respect. If you want everything you truly desire, you must protect your attention like a warrior protects the gate. Do not begin your day by handing your mind to the world. The first hour of the day should belong to your becoming. Move your body. Breathe deeply. Read something that strengthens your thinking. Write your intention. Clean your space. Do one action that tells your mind, I lead this life. Most people lose the day before it begins. They wake up and immediately enter other people's noise, messages, notifications, news, comparison. They have not even stood up, and already their nervous system is being dragged by the world. Then they say, I cannot focus. Of course you cannot focus. You have trained your mind to be a servant of interruption. Focus is not a gift. Focus is a discipline. It must be trained like the body. At first, the mind will resist. It will search for novelty. It will ask for escape. It will create excuses. It will make silence feel uncomfortable. But stay, come back, again and again. This returning is the practice. Choose one important task and give it your full presence. Not half your presence while checking your phone. Not your leftover energy after wasting your strongest hours. Full presence, even for 30 minutes. This is how you begin reclaiming yourself. A focused person can achieve in 1 year what a distracted person only talks about for 10. The fourth way is to become worthy of what you ask for. This is the truth many people do not want to hear. They want bigger results, but they do not want bigger responsibility. They want more money, but they have not mastered the money they already touch. They want a healthy relationship, but they have not healed their jealousy, insecurity, dishonesty, or need for control. They want respect, but they still behave in ways that make self-respect impossible. They want opportunity, but they are careless with small responsibilities. Life tests you with small things before it trusts you with big things. How do you treat the small money? How do you treat the small promise? How do you treat the small task? How do you behave when no one is watching? How do you speak about people who cannot benefit you? How do you handle delay? How do you handle correction? How do you handle power when you get even a little of it? Your future is not waiting for your wish. It is waiting for your capacity. If you receive something before you are ready, it will not bless you. It will expose you. A person who has not built emotional discipline will destroy a good relationship with suspicion and ego. A person who has not built financial discipline will destroy a high income with higher spending. A person who has not built inner peace will turn success into anxiety. A person who has not built humility will turn recognition into arrogance. This is why getting what you want too early can be dangerous. The prize can become punishment when the person carrying it is weak. So instead of asking, why has life not given it to me? Ask, who must I become so I can hold it without losing myself? This question changes everything. If you want strength, become someone who trains even when the mirror is slow to change. If you want wealth, become someone who respects value, patience, skill, and wise risk. If you want love, become someone who can communicate, listen, forgive, and stand alone without begging to be chosen. If you want peace, become someone who stops feeding chaos for attention. If you want mastery, become someone who repeats the basics after others become bored. You do not attract what you want by pretending. You attract what you are prepared to sustain. Preparation is silent. This is why many people underestimate it. They only admire the fruit. They do not see the root. They praise the performance, but they ignore the years of repetition. They celebrate the result, but they are unwilling to live the routine. Do not envy the person who has what you want. Study the structure that made them capable of receiving it. What do they practice? What do they refuse? What do they tolerate that you avoid? What discomfort have they made normal? Jealousy is lazy observation. Study is powerful observation. The fifth way is to learn how to sacrifice without drama. Everything valuable asks for a trade. You cannot keep every comfort and gain every greatness. You cannot keep every toxic friendship and gain peace. You cannot spend every night in distraction and gain mastery. You cannot keep pleasing everyone and gain freedom. You cannot hold the old identity and receive the new life. Something must be left behind. The problem is not that people do not know this. The problem is that they want transformation without loss. They want the new self and the old habits. They want the clean mind and the dirty environment. They want the elevated life and the same low-level choices. This is fantasy. Every path has a price. The price of discipline is temporary discomfort. The price of regret is lifelong pain. Choose your pain carefully. When you sacrifice correctly, it does not make your life smaller. It makes your life cleaner. You stop going where your energy gets wasted. You stop explaining yourself to people who enjoy confusion. You stop eating in a way that makes your body heavy. You stop speaking in a way that weakens your spirit. You stop spending money to impress people who are not even paying attention. You stop touching what always leaves you empty. At first, this feels like loss. Then one day, you wake up lighter. You realize peace was not something you needed to chase. It was something buried under everything you refused to release. Sacrifice is not punishment. Sacrifice is selection. It is choosing what deserves to come with you into the next version of your life. A strong person does not ask, "What can I get away with?" A strong person asks, "What is this costing me?" That one question can save years. What is this habit costing me? What is this relationship costing me? What is this excuse costing me? What is this addiction to comfort costing me? What is this need for approval costing me? What is this fear of starting costing me? Do not measure cost only in money. Some things cost clarity. Some things cost dignity. Some things cost energy. Some things cost sleep. Some things cost self-respect. Some things cost your future. And because the cost is invisible, people keep paying until their life feels empty. Be honest. Some doors in your life are not closed because you lack strength. They are open because you still enjoy the poison. You still enjoy being needed by people who drain you. You still enjoy the drama because it gives you something to talk about. You still enjoy the excuse because it protects you from responsibility. You still enjoy the fantasy because reality asks you to act. This is where growth becomes serious. You cannot heal what you keep defending. The sixth way is to move before you feel ready. Readiness is often fear in elegant clothing. People say, "I am preparing," but many times they are hiding. Preparing is useful when it leads to action. Preparing becomes cowardice when it becomes a place to live. You do not become ready by waiting. You become ready by entering the work. The first step will be clumsy. Good. The first video may be imperfect. Good. The first business idea may need correction. Good. The first training session may expose your weakness. Good. The first conversation may feel uncomfortable. Good. The first attempt may fail. Good failure is not the opposite of progress. Failure is information. It shows you what needs refinement. But people who worship perfection never receive this information because they never begin. They sit outside the arena, criticizing everyone who is brave enough to be seen trying. They call it analysis, but underneath it is fear. They say, "I am waiting for the right time." But the right time keeps moving because their courage is not moving. Life respects movement. When you move, you learn. When you learn, you adjust. When you adjust, you grow. When you grow, doors open that were invisible when you were standing still. Action creates clarity, not the other way around. This does not mean you move foolishly. It means you stop demanding certainty before taking a disciplined step. Certainty is not given at the beginning. Certainty is built through contact with reality. Take the step. Let reality correct you. Then take the next step with more intelligence. Most people overestimate what they can think through and underestimate what they can learn through doing. The path reveals itself to the walker, not to the person staring at the map forever. There is a kind of confidence that only comes after you survive your own beginning. When you see that imperfection did not destroy you, you become freer. When you see that judgment did not kill you, you become bolder. When you see that rejection did not end you, you become stronger. When you see that failure can teach you, you become dangerous. Not dangerous to others, dangerous to your old limitations. Do not wait to feel fearless. Fearlessness is not the starting point. Courage is. Courage means fear is present, but it is not leading. Your hands may shake. Begin. Your voice may tremble. Speak. Your mind may doubt. Move. Your past may whisper. Continue. Every person you admire was once unqualified for the life they now live. They became qualified through repetition, correction, humility, and endurance. So, stop asking for permission from your insecurity. The seventh way is to understand that getting everything you want is not about controlling life. It is about controlling yourself so deeply that life can no longer throw you away from your path. There will be delays. There will be betrayal. There will be seasons where your effort seems invisible. There will be people who misunderstand you. There will be days when your mind is heavy. There will be moments when the old self comes back and asks to be obeyed. This is not a sign that you are failing. This is the path. Many people lose because they expect transformation to feel clean. It does not. Transformation is messy. You will outgrow people and still miss them. You will choose discipline and still crave comfort. You will forgive and still feel pain. You will move forward and still hear old thoughts. You will become stronger and still have weak days. Do not make weakness a home. Let it be weather. Weather changes. The mountain remains. You must become the mountain. A person who is ruled by mood cannot build a powerful life. Mood is unstable. It changes with sleep, food, weather, messages, memories, and other people's behavior. If your actions depend on your mood, your future will be random. You need standards stronger than feelings. A standard says, even when I am tired, I do not betray myself. A standard says, even when I am angry, I do not destroy what I value. A standard says, even when I am lonely, I do not return to what broke me. A standard says, even when progress is slow, I keep going. A standard says, even when no one sees me, I act with honor. This is how identity is built, not through declarations, through standards. When your standards become clear, life becomes simpler. You no longer need to debate every temptation. You no longer need to ask whether you should return to chaos. You no longer need to explain why you are choosing growth. You simply live from the place you have decided to stand. And this is where people begin to feel your energy differently, not because you are trying to impress them, but because you are no longer begging life to make you whole. You carry yourself with quiet authority. You speak less but mean more. You move slower but with more direction. You stop chasing rooms where your spirit has to shrink. This is the power of inner order. When the inside is chaotic, even opportunity feels overwhelming. When the inside is ordered, even difficulty becomes usable. But understand this: getting everything you want does not mean every desire will be fulfilled exactly as you imagined. Sometimes life does not give you what your ego wanted because it is protecting what your soul needs. Sometimes the closed door is not rejection, it is redirection. Sometimes the delay is not punishment, it is preparation. Sometimes the loss is not destruction, it is removal. The immature mind says, why is this happening to me? The trained mind says, What is this teaching me? The awakened mind says, how can I use this without becoming bitter? This is the difference. Bitterness wastes suffering. Wisdom transforms it. Do not let pain make you small. Let pain make you precise. Let it show you where you were attached. Let it show you where you were asleep. Let it show you which parts of you still need training. A life without pain is not strength. Strength is meeting pain without surrendering your soul to it. You want everything? Then stop asking only for blessings. Ask for backbone. Ask for patience. Ask for the ability to stay clean in a dirty situation. Ask for the ability to stay focused in a distracted world. Ask for the ability to choose truth when lies are easier. Ask for the ability to begin again without announcing it to everyone. Because the person who can begin again is never truly defeated. Beginning again is a sacred power. Most people do not respect it because it is quiet. They think power means never falling. That is childish. Real power is falling and refusing to become loyal to the ground. When you understand this, life changes. You stop fearing uncomfortable seasons. You stop needing everything to be easy before you move. You stop seeing obstacles as proof that you should quit. You begin to understand that pressure is not always against you. Sometimes pressure is shaping you. Gold does not complain about fire. The seed does not complain about darkness. The muscle does not grow without resistance. The mind does not sharpen without challenge. The spirit does not deepen without silence. So why do you think your greatness should arrive without difficulty? This is the weakness of modern desire. People want ancient strength with modern impatience. They want deep roots with quick results. They want mastery in days, healing in hours, wealth without skill, love without maturity, peace without discipline. Go again.
Eu acordo e agradeço, tudo certo, mesmo sem saber. Passo a passo eu reconheço a luz em mim, querendo crescer.